Welcome to Hungry's Holiday Kitchen.
I'm Renato Poliafito and this is Matt Lewis, and we're the owners of Baked Bakery in Brooklyn, New York. We just released our third cookbook and this is one of our recipes.
Peppermint Brownies, which are a great way to use up your leftover candy canes. And we're also gonna be making it with a lot of dark chocolate. They go so well together during the holidays. It's like the perfect seasonal dessert.
What is a brownie without chocolate?
That's a lot of chocolate.
It is a lot of chocolate, it's almost a pound. You really want to use a good quality chocolate here. And I'm gonna add that to a double boiler. If you put it in a pot and you just start melting chocolate, you run the risk of burning it.
You wanna make sure on your double boiler that the water is actually not touching the bottom of the pot.
I have 2 sticks of butter here. We all know a lot of butter is good. When you're baking, you want to use unsalted butter. You want to control the amount of salt in your recipe. You know what, I'm switching to a rubber spatula. You want this on a simmer, otherwise it'll just happen too quickly and you won't have any control over what you're doing.
Brownie is an all-American dessert. It doesn't get as much love as, say, the cupcake or the 3-layer cake. But the ultimate brownie is uniquely American. While you're doing that, I'm actually gonna put together our dry ingredients. Not a ton of flour in this brownie. 1.25 cups. Salt, because we don't have any salt in our butter.
Exactly.
About a teaspoon. And the most important part, since these are brownies, we want them to be really, really chocolatey. Dark chocolate cocoa powder. Cocoa powder has to be unsweetened. 2 tablespoons. Whisk these guys together just until they're incorporated. Sifting will cause the ingredients to be a little airier. We want a really dense brownie. How's it going over there, Renato?
We're actually done. Once it's all incorporated, you don't see any more lumps, take it off the heat. We added a lot of butter, we added a lot of chocolate, we're gonna add a lot of sugar now. 1.5 cups of regular sugar. The sugar adds a moisture content to this brownie. It makes it super moist. And adding the dark brown sugar adds an undernote of like a molassesy flavor, because dark brown sugar is just regular sugar with molasses.
You can actually just make this yourself. Granulated sugar with 1 tablespoon of molasses.
To make sure that there are no sugary lumps in there, you don't want to bite into a big block of sugar while you're eating your brownie.
That'd be kind of awful. This is our holiday brownie, and it's a peppermint or candy cane brownie. We're going to go ahead and crush up these candy canes. Put these into a Ziploc bag. Get a rolling pin or like a meat mallet, whatever you have.
As you're doing that, I get the slightly more boring job, and I'll butter our baking dish.
And you want to crush these guys until they're coarse. You're not trying to do a powder. You want like a little bit of the red and the white to kind of show through. You're gonna still see like a bunch of the chunks of the peppermint, but you haven't broken this all the way down to a powder. Back
to my chocolate, which is cooled down, and I'm gonna add 5 eggs to this mixture. What you want to avoid is actually adding a cold egg to a mixture that is warm or hot, because you might end up scrambling the eggs.
That's not the idea in this recipe.
Yeah, you don't wanna bite into a delicious, dark, rich brownie, and then, wait a second. Are there scrambled eggs in here? Break them into the mixture and then add the other 2. We get to move on to the special ingredient that actually makes these brownies what they are.
Exactly. This is pure, natural vanilla and peppermint extract, 2 teaspoons. Vanilla is really gonna kind of smooth this whole brownie flavor out.
Oh, you can smell that peppermint.
Yeah, it definitely smells like a holiday kitchen in here. Sprinkle these over the top. And we're going to fold the ingredients together. And it's just a really gentle way of incorporating wet and dry together around the edge of the bowl and fold in.
Take your time.
Take your time. You want to see a little bit of the dry ingredients left on top. That's kind of a safety measure. It lets you know you haven't gone too far yet. All right, our final step. Let's pour this brownie batter into the pan.
Try to get every bit out of the bowl.
All right, I'm gonna hold this bowl.
Yeah, let me help you there.
Let's give this the quality test.
Good?
Oh, this is perfect.
Wonderful.
Absolutely perfect.
The oven's preheated at 350. Put it in for about a ½ hour. We're gonna rotate halfway through. Put a toothpick in the center. You want a moist crumb. You wanna be able to roll it between your fingers. And if it forms a ball very easily and quickly, your brownies are perfectly done.
You don't want this toothpick to come out completely clean. It means you've baked it too long.
It's Christmas in here.
The brownies are still warm, and this is when you wanna add your peppermint. You're just gonna kind of sprinkle it. And you could put as much on or as little on as you want, but since it is the holidays, we kind of recommend you put a lot on. In about 15, 20 minutes, you could actually dig in. And you know,
I don't want to wait.
I've never said no to a warm brownie.
If you want a better cut on a brownie, you want to wait till they actually cool, but
we have no patience.
No patience whatsoever, especially around the holidays. This is for you. Let me grab mine.
Oh, this is perfect.
You can be dainty and eat this with the fork, but
why bother?
We ain't dainty. All right, so let's give it a bite.
Let's give these guys a bite.
Oh God, it's so hot. That delicious chocolate And the candy gives it that crunch.
If you want this recipe, it's down below us. And subscribe to Hungry.
From Hungry's Holiday Kitchen to yours, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.